We are GRK Landscaping. Today we're doing a how to lay a base for a prefabricated garage. We've took down the old garage that was falling apart, dug out the cracked up broken base and relaid a new base. Once it's dug out, we'll then put the hardcore in. We'll put our timber across the base and measure down from the timber, which will be the top of the concrete, to the top of the hardcore, which will give us our same depth of concrete all the way through. To get the base square, we'll put our timbers in place and square them up with lines and a square, and then level them off, and then once we're happy with the square of it, then we'll start preparing to lay the base. A lot of people, when you get a spirit level, they make mistakes saying they put the level down and think, yes, that's fine. But what you need to do is if you turn your level around 360 degrees and put it back on it will then read the same. If it doesn't, that means your level is broken, you need a new one. Being hardcore, you need to get a nice level, at least a minimum of 4 inches all over, different levels, and it just gives it weak spots. The hardcore we normally use is A1 type 1 roadstone, and it compacts really well. We normally do 100mm of hardcore and 100mm of concrete on the top with 200mm around the sides. We put a polythene membrane on so when we lay our concrete, it stops the ground sucking the moisture out of the concrete and drying it too fast from the underneath. It's a really, really hot day. We would sit with the concrete for a while, probably water it down, give it a fine spray with like a mist off a hose, just to keep it damp for the best while it's in the sun. We can't do that, and we'll cover it with a polythene sheet. We're using a C30, which is quite strong for a shed base, and with fibres in it which also protect the surface of the concrete as well. So if it rains or dries out too fast, it stops any shrinkage cracks. Supplied by Mixer Mate, which is mixed on site and pumped into the base for us. And they'll bring us exactly what we want, and it's fresh as fresh. We'll get it pumped in with the pump. We'll level it off slightly proud of the shutters, and then we'll level it off with a tamp, and then we'll screed it off and then trowel all around the edges so it's got a nice bevel on the edge, so all the water comes off the side of the garage will run off and down off the side of the base so it doesn't damp the inside of the garage. When we're laying the concrete, we normally try and get the concrete in at least 2 weeks before the building comes, give it time to harden off properly so it doesn't damage it when they put the building on.